Let's take a couple of minutes now to explore haiku discussions. Haiku discussions are another way of having interactions between you and the students or between students themselves. Haiku discussions can be accessed both by you and the students through the Connect tab across the top of your class. Drop down to the discussions. Once you're in the discussion area, you can see that I have a number of discussions listed here. These were all experiments, so there have been no posts, but let's take a quick look while we're here at how you create a discussion. Hopefully the Add Discussion button makes some sense to do that, so I'm going to click on that. Give the discussion a title. I could type in all my instructions in this area. I could put a link to a YouTube video in this section. And then I can choose the type of discussion. If I would like the discussion to go through the whole class, that's the obvious choice. If your class is shared with other teachers or you have rosters of different sections, you may want to choose a section discussion. Group discussions is what I'm going to select right now, and that is if you would like it done in small groups within your section or your class. And then the bottom one is actually really good for doing self-evaluations or journals or private blogs, because that's just between you and the student. So I'm going to select group discussions and I'm going to go next. Haiku makes this fairly easy for you to have the small group discussions. You can choose to organize them yourself. You can reuse groups from previous discussions. You can reorganize previous groups. Organize your students into new groups. Create new set of group from scratch. I'm going to choose 4 groups for my class. I'm going to go next, and here's the really cool part. Okay, so it's not the really cool part. I can give them different names, or the students can actually choose their names, but this is the cool part. I can choose to ask Haiku to automatically distribute the students in those groups, and then I can review them and drag the students to the different groups. So I can do auto distribute. There's group 1, there's group 2, group 3, and then I could actually move them to the other different groups. So I can click next. Can the students view the other discussions groups? Well, that depends on how much privacy you want them to have. You can set due dates. I can choose which page in my class I'd like this to go on. So I might put it under homework, and then I can choose where the block goes, and here's where I attach the Google document with instructions. Click finish, and the discussion is created. So the students can get to the discussions the same way you can. You go to Connect, and then down to discussions, and that's the page I'm on. And if I go to the bottom, they would see it here, and it's at the bottom because of the late due date. It's much later than the other due dates. Or they can go to the page that it was found on. So I can see that it's on the homework page. I can click on homework, and there is the discussion area. So to see how you as a teacher can interact with the discussions, I've gone to my grade 9 class page where I've used the discussions quite a bit for peer evaluations. So I'm going to go to Connect, I'm going to go to discussions, and I have an awful lot of them here. I see them all. The students would not see them all because you can set them for different groups. And what I'm going to look at is the assignment 1 peer evaluations. So I set my students up in groups of 3, ask them to upload the document that the peers are to evaluate, and then I asked them to give comments. And I did give them a specific structure I wanted them to use. You can see that I have given them a rating out of 5 stars, and you can see that I have commented. So I can comment on the work they've done, and I can give them a star rating. I can go and I can look at all the groups, and I can scroll through the students. So under Manage Discussion, I can view results, and I can see what mark the students would have gotten, how many posts, and how I rated those posts. So you actually can do some marking this way, and you can go in and take a look at the comments you made. So that is a quick shot at Haiku Discussions. Hopefully this is something that might help you do some online blogging, do some self-reflection, do some peer evaluation. If you have any questions about discussions, other things that can be done, don't hesitate to ask Carson or I. And of course, if you have any suggestions for videos, we'd love to see them. And as always, make sure you have a great day. Thanks.